knocked loose. White dive on it.
This is twice now the Celtics have been first to the floor.
They try to save with Horford. Unbelievable.
Boston first to the floor. So good.
Brown fakes, fires up the three. Bang! Tatum dives on the floor. Everybody dives. Jaylen Brown with the flush. Blocked by Porzingis. He's doing it all. Tatum spinning, driving, laying. Got it. Washington drives. Blocked by White. Oh, what a block from Derrick White.
Wayne Spooney, First to the Floor podcast. Jake, we are so back now.
we were like, we just have to go live because we were giving away all the vibes pre-game, and it feels good. And never been happier to be wrong in my life.
Yep.
About the team being better than we thought. And watching the games again, I feel the same. Like watching the Lakers game yesterday, and their lead gets down to 15, and the sphincter starts tightening, and I'm like, we're back. The feeling of feeling like you might blow a 30-point lead, even though it's only a 15-point game still in the fourth quarter, and then we push it right back up to 20 plus, and it was never really a game. It's like, yeah, we're back. We're back.
Oh, dude, man. And thank you, Jordan Walsh and Josh Minot, because it really feels like as those two came on and like Walshy moved in the starting lineup, and maybe the most important thing, Luka Garza doesn't play anymore. Imagine that. Luka Garza doesn't play anymore, and we're like 5-1 in our last 6. But and like the way those two are playing, how hard they're playing, they're giving us like exactly what we needed and what we hoped coming into the season, where it's like this teams might not be very good unless some of these young guys hit. And now Walshy looks incredible. Incredible. Minot is all of a sudden like one of the better backup centers in the NBA somehow. And then they just punked the Lakers 126-105. And you know how I knew? I was like, I'm like all 100% in on winning now. I was cackling when Walshy was like all over Austin Reeves in that first quarter. And Austin Reeves tried like this step back and sort of stumbled, and he like clanked it front rim. And I was like, that's when I knew. I was like, oh baby, we're in. Let's do it. Let's win the title.
Don't care that LeBron and Luka aren't playing. Give us the win and take him down. Yeah, a couple of rear view contests, blocks on Reeves, jump shots. Like, I think Reeves ended up having 36. Good lord, man, the free throw shit with this Lakers team is disgusting. I understand that LeBron, Luka, and Reeves are all good at getting to the free throw line, but 17 free throws for Austin Reeves. Can we be serious? He was actually still pretty good, 36 and 8 yesterday. But so this team, after their 0-3 start, are 14 and 6. That's a 20-game sample. That's a 57 win pace.
Yeah.
57 win pace. Like, yeah, we're going to get to the individual stuff, but they are now in a place that they've been quite a lot in the past decades, especially since Brad Stevens got here, in that the team is greater than the sum of their parts. Mm-hmm. And like the 2022 through 2024 Vive versions were kind of just like ultra talented, meeting / exceeding, slightly not exceeding expectations at times as well, but just really fucking good. But like those early Brad Stevens era teams, the Tatum rookie season year, and now this team, they all kind of remind the IT year. They all kind of remind me of each other in that you've got IT or Jaylen Brown playing the IT role this year, and all these guys filling in these roles. You've got the Missoula, who is just the MMA version of Brad Stevens, apparently the young dude who's just like playing 11-man rotation, pulling all these different levers, and they're the 5th seed now.
I know, it's all of a sudden it's crazy. All of a sudden they're like in squeezing range for a top 4 seed. Yeah. And not even like they're right on everybody's heels, and the standings are really tight, except for, I mean, Detroit's kind of
it's really
up there
tight
at 1. But other than that, it's extremely tight. Yeah, and this team has like a lot of statistical Similarities to the IT season. I really think like Jaylen Brown, IT, clear comparison, like elite level offensive player. And then it's just kind of a bunch of guys who are good at basketball, but aren't really stars. Like Derrick White's probably better than anybody that was on that IT team. But I think this team is better than at least the ceiling of that IT team. But it's just a bunch of dudes like Jay Crowders and Avery Bradleys and Smarts, like just know how to play basketball and play really friggin' hard. In that IT team, the key to that team's offense, other than Isaiah being incredible, was they never, ever turned it over. And that is exactly the key to this team's offense as well. So it's like one dude who's super high usage and then pretty egalitarian, go with the hot hand. Is it Derrick White? Is it Pritchard? Is it Simons? Is it Jordan Walsh? and like Jaylen's gonna get his and don't turn the ball over and get shots on goal, and play your balls off. And it is really, really working. Like credit to Joe, man. Like he's got these dudes defending at such a crazy level. Like it's like mind blowing how well they're communicating because they are aggressive and they overhelp and they reach in and they cheat, but they get back. And that is if you can play defense like that, you're going to be a very damn good defensive team.
Yeah. I remember at Summer League when Baylor was like doing all the back taps and the reach ins, and we're like,
I tweeted about it.
It's like, I get, trying to emulate a version of what the Thunder are doing. And they're not forcing as many turnovers as like the Thunder, but that aggression, that like long, everyone flying around, you feel like you're beat, but you're not beat because everyone's playing so hard. It's working with this roster. And it was kind of cool to see like the personnel difference between the Summer League roster and obviously a small sample size and then doing it with these like long, rangy, connected, higher IQ defenders. Now, the overall defensive numbers aren't very good yet.
Right.
And I think a part of that is the just opponent 3-point shooting has been really good so far. And so they're 21st in opponent 3-point percentage at 37%, but they're 23rd in opponent above the break 3-point percentage at 36.8. So that could be a little bit of bad luck. The flip side is that they're shooting the fucking shit out of the ball like across the board over the past kind of 11 games, like last 11 games, they're 41%. But yeah, so I like it's funny. My brain, when I watch them play, feels like the defense is much better than the numbers say, and the offense is not as good as the numbers say. Because the numbers for the offense, they're literally first in offense. Okay, and by the way, time to just quickly state this now. Going to reference the last 11 games a lot for a reason, because Jordan Walsh entered the lineup 11 games ago, and we now live in the post-Jordan Walsh
AW time.
Exactly.
After Walshy. Yeah.
BW, AW. And I love living in an AW world because the last 11 games, the team has it coincided a little bit with the disappearance of Luka Garza? Yes. But it really started with Jordan Walsh after they lose to the Sixers by 2 points. Walsh enters the lineup the next night and they kill Memphis, and they're 9-2 in their last 11. And they're literally first in the NBA in offense across that span, which is somewhat driven by the schedule hasn't been that difficult. Oh, that's not true at all. They actually had like that really impressive stretch where they beat the Magic, they beat the Pistons, they almost beat the Wolves, they beat the Cavs on the back-to-back, and then they beat the Knicks. Mm-hmm. So it's like the schedule hasn't actually been that difficult.
What else do you
easy.
Want? Yeah. What else do you want?
I mean, obviously the Wizards game helps because they put up a shitload and like the net rating's going to be boosted. But even if you look at the entire season, they're fourth in offense. So it feels like there's room for both the offense to come down and the defense to come up and them kind of be in a similar place that they've been for the last 20 games.
And first shot defense, we are one of the better teams in first shot defense.
Yeah.
So it's really the defensive rebounding or the opponent's offensive rebounding that's killing our defensive rating. So we are like a much better team at forcing misses It's just the problem is we can't rebound those misses. And look, that's not going to solve itself. And that's a big part of defense. But I think that's a big reason why it feels like the defense is better than the numbers say, is because we can't rebound the damn ball. Although that is ticking up. It's on its way. I mean, not incredibly, but and I felt like I feel like they've been rebounding better now that Minot's kind of in there, and they're just rangy and long, and it's like Ugo and Jordan Walsh and Josh Minot out there when Jaylen is not. And like, yeah, man, like I don't know. To your point, like, can the offense is going to cool down, right? They're not going to. Josh Minot's shooting 44% from three. Walshy, since he moved into this, Walshy is shooting like 45.5% from three.
Yeah.
So
Minot in particular is like last 11 games, AW 53%, and like some of the shots that he's taking are like
they're tough,
kind of movement, pull up above the break, and it's just it is probably unsustainably hot. But like Derrick and Pritchard in particular, those dudes have kind of found their level.
Yep.
And Derrick, he's like 40% over that period, which is so good to see. But yeah, the Minot in particular, but again, maybe he's like an okay shooter. I remember before the season, we kind of like added up every attempt he'd taken between both like all the 3-point shots in the NBA, the G League, all of his free throw attempts. And we're like, the shooting indicators aren't bad. The sample size is just too small to even make an assessment. And so it's still too small to make a full assessment. But I think if you add that to what we already had, then I think we at least have a guy that just 33% feel like the floor. And if he could be 33%, then hitting those corner threes and just like keeping the defense honest, that's like a fucking miracle.
Yeah, I think he'll be better than that from the corners too. I don't know. You're saying 33% is the floor overall. Yeah. So that
I'm still just like, what is like, I don't know. I'm like so excited. 53% is insane. The season you said 40 plus. I'm just hesitant to be like, I've seen people be like, well, even if he comes down, at least he'll be 37. I'm like, that's still fucking so good if he ends up being a 37% 3-point shooter.
I was 37 from the corners and maybe like 30, and that gets us around like 34, 35. I think that's pretty viable. I will say his jumper is janky, but it's extraordinarily repeatable. It looks the exact same every time. He like kind of like rolls it from the side of his body up over his head, but he does it the exact same way every single time. And that is in a lot of ways more important than it looking like Ray Allen's jump shot. Walshy, on the other hand, like, I'm having trouble thinking like this jumper's not like, at least on wide open threes, which he is currently shooting 47% on wide open threes. That's going to come down. But the jumper looks really compact and smooth and fluid. And I wish he was a little more confident. I want that number to come down because it means his attempts have gone up and he needs to start shooting more. But that's okay. And like both of these guys, it's blowing my mind how comfortable they look putting the ball on the floor. Like Minot had a pass, I think it was like the fourth quarter, kind of garbage time, but he had like a Euro and like this crazy leave, like no look leave to, I think, Keita, like in the fourth quarter. And I was like, what is going on? Like, who are these guys? And Walshy just looks really strong getting to the rim. So like, I think the confidence for these two guys, they've both been in really similar situations where they just have not been able to get minutes. And clearly they're hard workers. They wouldn't be on this team if they weren't hard workers. And they're just relishing this opportunity to like, oh, I get to play and not get yanked every second if I make a mistake. So they're definitely playing a little above their heads, but like, I think we can lock it in that they're rotation guys.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a comment here in the chat. Shout out to everybody that's listening. Like the stream. Like what a time. You know, like the First to Floor Discord. We were just sharing all the vibes. Jaylen on stream has been super fun. So just it was a weird start to the season, and I really much appreciate these guys just beating us down and turning us straight back into when First to Floor and the community operates at its highest is when Brad Stevens has been touched by God and everyone's just good again. So I like this.
Feels great.
But there was a comment here about people trying to talk themselves from Trixie Fitzgerald, shout out. I feel like this whole time people keep negotiating themselves down on Walsh's ceiling. And like coming to the season, we're an optimistic, positive skewing podcast, like we're fans. We do try to be objective. And
Yeah.
I guess everyone's just is a rotation player because we've got a pretty big sample size now. And like while the shooting has a huge gap for them to come down from and still be competent, but it's all the other stuff. Like clearly, I mean, the defense from Walsh, the way that he's harassing dudes. I mean, going back to the Philly game where he has Maxey in absolute hell, like guarding Anthony Edwards, who goes off, but like the amount of guys that he's bothered. And Reeves, I know he had got his numbers last night, but
the game was over.
Yeah.
When Reeves got his numbers, that game was over, dude. He was awesome on Austin Reeves. Sorry, not to jump.
No. Yeah, yeah, it's a good point. I was getting annoyed as the game was going along. I'm like, it kind of lessens the shine of Walsh's defensive performance. But he came out in that game, and man, he's doing the thing that Drew Holiday was really good at. That comes to mind is that he takes the bump, and as he takes the bump, he sticks his arm in there and swipes the ball back towards half court. And earlier, like 5, 6, 7, 8 games ago, he was getting these deflections and then he wasn't getting to the ball and he was like unsure if he should like get it. And then he was getting out of position. Last 5 games or so, he's like taking these bumps, getting the deflections, and then the steal and dunk. And the confidence, you can almost tell the confidence is growing based on how he's dunking the ball. Before it was like, just make sure we put this in. And now it's like, okay, I'm getting like 2 steps. I'm getting up there because you see his pregame warm-ups and he just goes like windmill. Like we know that this guy can get up and has the length to just like throw down some ridiculous dunks. And you can start to see even in those moments, yeah, man. And the rebounding numbers, like, yeah, dude, that's what we always love it. It's like he can jump high. He's 6'7", and he's got a 7'3" wingspan. He's doing an awesome job rebounding the ball.
Yeah, man, go gadget arms. Like you cannot screen him. His defense was always so over aggressive that he would just foul and he would like be trying to get in somebody's pocket and get into the dribble so much that he'd pull himself out of position. He is really starting to find the balance there, and he is so good at going over the top of screens. Like that is the hardest thing for a point of attack defender to do, like especially good pick and roll operators, and Reeves is one of them. Like I hate on him.
Really good.
I hated him. I hated him at Oklahoma so much. And the fact that he's a Laker it's like really kind of difficult for me from an emotional standpoint, but he is a damn fine pick and roll operator. And Walsh is just like getting in between him and whatever crappy big man setting the screen, Jackson Hayes, DeAndre Ayton, and just sticking with him, man. And that's like the final level of point of attack defense. And it's like he went from dude who fouls too much and doesn't totally know what he's doing to like, holy shit, you're comparing him to Drew Holiday. And I'm sitting here thinking like, absolutely. Yeah. It's crazy how he's doing it just like Drew Holiday. Look, he's not Drew Holiday on defense.
No, not
We're
yet.
not saying that, but like the progression has been so absurdly fast. And like, he's got the athleticism. We've always said he sees the game really well and he makes the correct reads offensively. So if the shot sticks and he continues to build on his ball skills offensively, like this could be very much headed somewhere. Like you see what McDaniels is doing in Minnesota, where he's just like kind of figured it out offensively. Last I checked, I don't know, he's probably played like crap the last couple weeks now that I say that, but like
he has though, going back to like the playoffs and stuff, he's completely revolutionized himself offensively.
Yeah, like that type of player is in Jordan Walsh. I'm not sitting here and saying it's going to happen, but he has the tools to be like really damn good.
This is crazy, dude.
I know.
Like so he's 20, he turns 22 in like under 100 days. So but that's 22. So by all intents and purposes, like he's still a rookie as far as the minutes go. And so he's really getting his first crack and first experience and first reps. And so you're starting to see him really figure it out. And you're starting to see the progression of like guys that are good in the NBA when they finally get it and then they're young, they kind of tend to improve rapidly and like really settle in. And man, how many times did we like sit here and be like, where's the defense? Like
Yeah.
that was the whole thing. And it's like the offense kind of like, we love the way that he has like body control and able to attack the rim. And it's like overnight, he's become who he was billed as a draft prospect. It's like this chaos creating like explosive long wing. Shout out RJ in the chat for the donation. Hats off to Brad for finding the best deals at the NBA dollar store, picking up Minot, Walsh, Hugo, and Baylor. Yeah, I know Greeny had a tweet that like had all the salaries of these guys on the team, including Cater as well. It's like we've got 5 rotation guys on a team that's the 5th seed that combined to make like under $15 million. It's pretty insane. And then so the defense has been crazy. The Wizards are the Wizards, and the Wizards were the Wizards minus like 3 of their best players. There was no Alex Sarr, there was no Corey Kispert, and there was no Koulibaly. So the Wizards haven't won 3 games even when those guys are playing. Granted, there was no Jaylen Brown, but they fucking put a 50 burger on the Wizards.
Bad.
They're horrendous. But Jordan Walsh had 22, 7, 3, 8 for 8 from the field. And this short roll stuff that we got inklings of a little while ago, we saw it in the clutch against Cleveland where he has those 2 incredible passes to the corner. But now we've always wanted him to just be like, just trust your explosiveness, attack the rim. You can gonna get fouled, and we trust you to make decisions down there. But that Wizards game, 2 feet, just tomahawk slams. And he did it in the Lakers game, like going at dudes, another dunk, like pump fake from the corner. He's gotten fouled on a couple. I'm like, dude, I want you to trust that so much. If the shot's not as open as you like, I really trust you to just like get your shoulders by guys and then finish over, because you have the athleticism to hang and you have the length to finish around guys too. It's crazy.
Dude, yeah, and what I love about where Walsh is at now, and Minot too. Minot's been doing this since day one. They're both willing to go left and finish with their left hand. There's a lot of dudes who will not finish with their weak hand, and both of them seem pretty comfortable going to it. And like that alone can really just open up. It opens up an entire side of the court for you, or an entire side of the basket, essentially. And like the short roll stuff's been crazy. Like Minot's doing a little bit of it too. It's like, even if the shooting goes, like you can play one non-shooter and have him set the screen and have him hit the short roll. And especially if Minot's able to like truly play the 5, then he can be in that. He could be in the short roll. He can be the screen setter every single possession, and he's bouncy as hell. So he's got
in the
some
dunker as well.
Space. Yeah, he's awesome in the dunker, cutting out of the corners. So like their offensive games, like they're not good offensive players right now, but they have the foundation of that they're versatile and they know their strengths and they're making shots. And you can they're 23 and will be 22. Like there's plenty of room for them to grow, and they've sown the seeds of like all these different positive skills that it's like, man, if these 2 dudes like really pop, and then we haven't even talked about Ugo. Yeah. Or Baylor.
I'm trying not to get excited
too. I know, man. Baylor, I've liked how Baylor's played recently too. Like, you know, but he's 26, right? So it's like a little bit different of a discussion. But Baylor's been fine as well. And like Ugo, Walshy, and Minot are all very similar in a lot of ways. But like, you want as many big dribble, pass, shoot, high defending wings as you can possibly get. So like if you're going to have a position where you have a lot of the same type of guy, this is the one.
Man, this is so fun. And I'm just scared. I shouldn't be scared. We're like not the fan base that should be worried about like everything pumpkining. Like we should kind of just expect this to keep going. They're, you know, I was kind of pushing against the Celtics exceptionalism. We all were, right? About Cater will be good. Well, like we'll figure it out. Like too much talent. I'm like, it's not really how it works. But I guess when you have Brad Stevens and Joe Mazzulla and the culture, the Celtics culture apparently has now developed has just spawned 5 good rotation guys on minimum contracts. So like the need to tank is not anywhere near as important. If like obviously we wanted to get fucking AJ Dybanster or Darren Peterson in here. Like that's the only way to get a guy that has all NBA potential in the door. But if Jaylen Brown's going to take a step forward and these guys are going to be so good, how long do you wait? How long do you have to wait until you're like, okay, this guy's just good now? Because it's been only 10 to 15 games for Walsh, and Minot's been pretty good for most of the season, been up and down, but that's like okay and to be expected of a guy on that type of contract. Cater's just been straight up good for the whole season. So,
shit.
Yeah, what up? Here we go. Spooney cat. Yeah, I'm hesitant to go all the way in, but if we're just talking about the games that have happened in the past 11 games that we're talking about right now, the progression from Walsh, like the guy that did miss a shot for 3 games, pretty much.
Not pretty much. He did not miss a shot for, I think.
Well, 2.8 games.
Yeah, 2.8. Yeah, because he missed one late in the Lakers game. So, yeah, you're right. It's ridiculous, man. And, like, Ugo, he's 19. And I think defensively, the way he already reads the game and like they're not gonna keep calling these types of fouls on him. I remember Marcus Smart's rookie year, all the same stuff would happen to Smart. He would get all the same calls Ugo's getting right now. So like just his defensive floor as a prospect, it's like you don't even have to do that much offensively to figure it out. And I think he's got a chance to be a really interesting offensive player. That much is obvious. I mean, I think he's pretty clearly below Walshy and Minot in the pecking order right now. That's totally fine. He's also 4 years younger than Josh Minot, and Minot's young. So like the fact that we've just got Ugo floating behind, like I don't know what to do with Baylor. Like I really like how he's playing. He doesn't look like he sucks,
which is good.
Right, yeah. Maybe he's like kind of a part of a trade. It kind of seems like maybe there's not totally a spot for him here. But again, like he's playing well, and that's great. So you're right. The Celtics exceptionalism, like I do try to err. Like I'm a fan. Like I will be irrational at times. I do try to err on the side of like lowering expectations for unknowns in a lot of ways. It's like when we drafted Baylor, I was like, he's not taking Hauser's job yet. Like, let's just all calm down. I have looked like a complete and utter moron with Kada.
Kada for sure. Yes.
Yeah. Like Kada for sure. And like Ugo too. I expected nothing from Ugo Gonzalez, and he's given us legitimate moments and some legitimate minutes. The one guy I was right on was Garza, but moving on.
Hugo's a classic flashes guy because like there's a ton of he's very pre-programmed on offense at the moment where it's like, okay, I'm going to try this move and it's either going to work or it's going to be like a turnover or a travel. That's kind of what it feels like right now. And that's totally to be expected when it comes to a 19-year-old. But he had this move, was it the Lakers game where he had like a cross, low gather, got to the rim, like reverse finish. I'm like, he has really nice touch around the basket. It feels like the 3-point shot he kind of brings it from quite low. So that kind of creates a little more variance probably, but it looks fine enough and like enough of them going in where I don't think I have to worry about him being a non-shooter in the NBA. And I know, I guess you just see how many guys on this team have gotten better at shooting. Like maybe the Celtics have a good shooting development program, whether it's Derrick White and Jordan Walsh improving or it's everything's coming up Celtics right now. But the Ugo motor, it fits right in with the way that all of these guys are playing. Like the chase down block yesterday, he's getting beat a little bit by some quicker guys, but I'm just loving, and he gets fucking just stuck on screens. He tries to go through people and he gets knocked over all the time. He draws some offensive fouls and he's not flopping. It's just because he thinks he can kind of go through them or doesn't see them. I'm not sure exactly what's happening there, but he'll get better at that. He's also just big. Like, who was he guarding? I haven't spoken to you since he was our best Karl Anthony Towns defender.
Oh yeah, dude, he was amazing that game.
What
It was
the-
crazy.
what the
Towns
fuck?
couldn't move him.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a load, dude. He's a beast. All right, let's do prize picks and then we can
Yep.
come back to Ugo because I definitely have some thoughts. All right,
Very
prize
good.
picks, Jake, hit us.
PrizePicks time. And man, I guess it's just load up your Celtics. Let's go more on whoever you want at this point. But it's that time of year. We got football, we got basketball. We got a week off. The Patriots get to relax atop the AFC. Drake May atop the MVP ladder. It's a good time to be a Boston sports fan, man. What a time. We got Drake May and we got Jordan Walsh. It's a beautiful time as a Boston sports fan. But let's just ride Jordan Walsh more points, Jaylen Brown more points. Give me Peyton Pritchard more points. We got the Raptors tomorrow, which will be exciting. An Eastern Conference showdown. So yeah, let's load up our Celtics on PrizePicks tomorrow. Sprinkle a little bit in there. Download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. It's good to be right.
Yeah, prize picks, it's fun, adds a little extra to the game. Definitely check it out. Use that promo code. Please support the show. We appreciate you all. And I especially really appreciate everybody in here saying that their YouTube Wrapped had us as their #1 show. That is like, it's crazy. That is so
That's awesome.
awesome. Like when we started doing this, I never expected anything like that. And we've grown so much, and it's great that we love having you all around and watching, listening, and participating in the chat and join the Discord. It's all great. It's basically the same conversations we have, except with 250 other people. And via text. So definitely check that out. But yeah, Ugo.
I was
go
just going to
ahead.
say on that, if there are people that we end up in your Wrapped of any kind, please send us or tag us in any form. I just love to see it. Show my mom. I know she'll be excited. But also retweet it and stuff like it. That stuff definitely never will get old for us. That's awesome. Back to the GOAT, Spanish Kawhi.
Okay. Okay, so guarding Towns, crazy. I think that's his future as a defensive player, is more the 4-5, kind of like what we do with Tatum at this point, right? Like Tatum is also an insane point of attack defender because he's just a special player in just about every way. But I think Ugo's future is in like bulking up even more, and he's just like a 6'7". I saw RJ was like, he's 19, he might grow still, and like that's very much the case. But I think he's just going to be like this super strong, immovable defensive guy who is also quite switchable, except against kind of your quick twitch guard types. Kind of like PJ Tucker, right? Like I could definitely see him being like a PJ Tucker style defender where he's just like so strong, so aggressive, so physical, and quite switchable and chips in with the rebounding. So I don't think he'll be like 1 through 5, complete and utter lockdown type of guy. But like that, the 4 who can also switch and can shut down a center is probably the second most valuable behind like the Bam.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. Basically, anybody besides the really high level pick and roll operators and guys that can really take you off the dribble 1-on-1 quickly, like Donovan Mitchell. That doesn't feel like an Ugo guy. He gets a little bit like stuck hips wise on guys like that. And again, I'm not gonna be shocked if he ends up being a guy that can guard those guys, considering he's 19. But yeah, it definitely feels like the bigger, stronger guys. So it's like, okay, we've got Jordan Walsh that can be our pick and roll ball handler guys, and maybe struggles at the higher end in the 4s and the 5s. And then Ugo is kind of the inverse, and where he can guard up better than he can guard down, but both in a pinch can guard down or up better than your average wing defender. And then Minot's kind of like a blend of both. It feels like I think if you had to pick one guy to guard anybody, I don't know. Maybe it's, I don't know. It's a great question. Like if it's like just a mystery box of the offensive player that you're going to get, which of Minot, Walsh, and Ugo would you choose? I'd probably choose Walsh at this exact moment, but it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, it really is. And just like the switchability that we could roll out once Tatum is back, and it's just like Jaylen, Tatum, Derrick White, and like two of these guys for a crazy five, or like I mean, with Minot, actually, yeah, I agree with you. It's Walshy right now. If you had to pick one mystery box player, I think like there's just fewer centers that you're really worried about doing anything against. There's just a lot more guards and wings. So, do you buy Josh Minot as like a 12-minute a game small ball five, like in the future? Like it's working now, it's great. We also have no other options. But like next year, would you be like, Tatum's back? Okay, we're gonna see 10 minutes with Minot at the five.
Yes, I do. I think as long as it's surrounded by the right guys, I think it's working because you're able to have lineups that include Walsh and Jaylen and Hauser, these like other 6'7" guys that are able to rebound. They're able to kind of switch on to bigger guys as well, able to provide some weak side rim protection as well. I know, definitely just see a bigger sample. He holds his own down there though, and it helps. He can like. Walsh is explosive. Minot has some very high level hops and very high level bounce and second jump stuff. Like he basically only dunks with double pumps. It's crazy. And he
did that oop he caught and pumped
crazy.
It was nuts, mind blowing. Yeah.
I didn't think he was even going to catch it. He still had time to bring it back down and bring it back up. I'm like, are you kidding me, dude? So, yeah, being 6'9" ish and then having the long arms, like, yeah, I think so. There's just not that many guys, to your point about that are gonna back you down in the post, like especially in the East. It's like, who's the big man in the East that it's like, oh no, it's like Towns, the corpse of Joel Embiid.
Giannis count?
Giannis, I guess, yeah, Giannis, I guess, but like you're not really like sure you want to throw Mobley onto Minot for how many possessions. That's not something that worries you. Like not the Pistons guys. Jakob Poeltl, maybe big problems.
He has killed us.
Yeah. But yeah, so like it's not really a part of the NBA. The guys that are problems are actually more out in the West. It's Jokic, it's Zubac, it's Şengün, guys of that ilk. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to say yes or no yet. But if I gun to my head, I'm saying yes, just because from what we've seen so far, it's worked a lot better than Luka Garza, so which is a low bar, but it definitely has been better.
Well, and the offense has been pretty phenomenal with him out there because he lets you play 5 out, and like the Heat have you watched much of the Heat this year?
Bits and pieces.
So basically their offense is just like 5 out and they just move it and try to drive, move it and try to drive, move it and try to drive. And we can kind of do that when Minot's out there at the 5, where it's like everybody is a dribble pass shoot guy, but it's not like Al Horford dribble pass shoot. Like I love Al. Al was incredible for us, especially these last couple of years. He was basically a pick and pop big that could give you a little bit, like take a dribble or two and make the right play. Like Minot can legitimately drive a closeout and dunk on people, dunk on shot blockers. And when that type of offensive player is your 5, it just opens up like a world of possibilities. He needs to get better at setting screens. Him and Walshy both, like their screens kind of drive me nuts, but it's hard to set a screen when you're a thin wing and not like Keita. But so I do think like you're gonna give something up defensively, just not having a traditional shot blocker out there, even though you're right, like he does a pretty damn good job, especially as a weak side help guy. But man, like the offense can be so killer with him at the 5, and like take your pick, just grab 4 other players out of a hat from our like top 8 and it's going to be an incredible offensive lineup.
Yeah, it's so true. And it's like, man, you've been tracking it basically since the birth of this small ball stuff, and the sample size is slowly growing and just continues to be good. But yeah, I want to see Minot, Walsh, Jaylen, Jason, Ugo. Give me just 5 6'7" psycho, do a little bit of everything or a lot of everything type of guys. But you're right. Offensively, for what you maybe do end up lacking in defensive rebounding or rim protection, let's say it's Tatum, Jaylen, Minot, Walsh, Derrick White. Like you're a little bit small, but I mean,
But are you?
and are you liking rim protection if you have Derrick White? Like, I don't know.
True.
I don't know. So yeah, and I think on the other end, as you're saying, the offense is just going to be fucking ridiculous when you throw those guys out there. Even if the shooting does come down a little bit, if you've got Jaylen, Jason, Derrick, and then two other just Swiss Army knife wings out there, I just in this version of the NBA where it feels like athleticism and playing hard seems to be kind of the skeleton king on an 82 game regular season. I think that that's going to be better than trying to find a budget. I don't know, Tillman, Gaza. I'm trying to think of some other teams off the top of my head here, but like that, I think, and I like playing it because it flows into the identity of who they're trying to be as well. I like that it's just a chaos lineup that's going to play hard on both ends, and I like that that's just going to bleed into the other lineups, even when the big men are out there. Maybe Amari Williams. I know RJ just mentioned him in the chat. It's like he's going to make a case where you don't need to go small Walsh because of course he's going to be good too. Because why not? Everyone's good apparently.
I know. I should learn to never doubt Brad Stevens.
Yeah.
But he was really testing us. And I think what I love most about what has happened recently is that, like, I was okay with tanking. Obviously, I'm okay with being awesome.
Yeah.
Being 500 is the worst. Like, it's so frustrating because you don't really have, like, a clear, like, at the end of this season, you know, like we have this reward of a high draft pick, or like, oh my God, look at how good we are without Tatum. We're going to be amazing when he comes back. It's like, we're just kind of 500. So if we add Tatum back, what does that make us, like a low 50s win team? And it's like, that's kind of not an ideal place to be. And like now that, like, obviously some of it's going to cool off. I'm trying to keep myself chill a little bit. But it's really hard.
It's really hard.
Like it just like the lineup potential that when you bring Jason Tatum back, like the Jays already gave you incredible lineup versatility. And now it's like an embarrassment of riches, man. It's nuts the stuff you can do. We haven't even talked about like Pritchard out there with these guys just running pick and roll, lobbing everybody up and hitting 35 footers.
It's crazy. Yeah, like we always talked about how like having the Jays creates a team building cheat code because they can do the jobs of every other position. And now it's like their jobs are going to be easier because you have the Walshes and the Minots and the Ugos. Something that we haven't talked about that I think we've gone 42 minutes too long, but there's just too many guys playing well.
Exactly.
We live in an AW world. We had to do a lot of AW stuff after Walsh if you're tuning in late. Jaylen Brown.
So
my captain, dude. In 11 games, AW, 31, 8, and 6 on 57% true shooting, 3.7 turnovers a game, but like 31, 8, and 6 on 57% true shooting. He's playing like a straight up first, second team, all NBA guy. That's straight up fact.
Yep, I was just listening to Game Theory. Bryce, the guy that does it with Sam Vecini, had him on second team, and he was Sam's first guy on the third team. And like, dude, I mean, I think I've talked about this before. I'm going to be a broken record, but like the way Joe has like put him in positions to be Jaylen Brown and not forced him to be Jason Tatum has worked so beautifully. And like Jaylen finally looks healthy. Like when he comes off these pin downs out of the corner, or like these double stagger screens out of the corner, and if he gets any space at all and the ball is in his right hand, I'm like, oh, this is two. I don't know if it's going to be a midi. I don't know if he's going to get all the way to the rim and finish, but like he just feels totally and utterly unstoppable when he gets any advantage offensively right now. And you know who's really good at creating offensive advantages? Jason Tatum. So if we get this version of Jaylen Brown, like these two dudes are just going to cook the entire league, even worse than they have in the past. So I love the way Jaylen's playing too, and it never feels like he's forcing it. Like his usage rate is crazy, and there are possessions where we just need him to bail us out with a mid-range jumper, but for the most part it just feels like it's totally within the flow of the offense, and it feels like he really has command of what is happening in front of him. And like lots of times that's been the weakest part of Jaylen's game, where it just sometimes feels like I'm going to put my head down and get to the rim and not care about what's going on around me has not been the case this year. He just looks so confident in the handle and the way he's reading the floor, and the jumper kind of coming back, although it's cooled off recently, has helped as well.
Such an impressive season from Jaylen Brown. He just exceeds expectations. That's just kind of been the story of his career.
Yeah.
And I love the arc of this season. It is just such a like put your stamp, all-time great Celtic kind of stretch right here. Early in the season, like so many new pieces, all these young guys, 5 of your top 8 guys out the door from the championship team, and Pritchard and Derrick struggling out the gate. Jaylen just like puts the team on his back. Like helps them survive the first 10-ish games where they're a little bit below 500, getting towards 500. And then Derrick and Pritchard start to get going. It like allowed that he did just enough where it was a true Jaylen Brown carry job for the first kind of like 10 plus games. It's like, man, we're not going to be able to survive without Jaylen. And that's probably still true to an extent, obviously. But now they're back to greater than the sum of their parts. And it's like allowing Jaylen, like, even though the usage is still really high, it's like everyone is just being lifted and led by Jaylen. And then them playing better is allowing Jaylen to just play better. It's such a like just Celtic pride, Jaylen Brown leading this team type of game. And then he's hopping on Twitch after these games and just like having the best time. Like I've loved like the clip after the Knicks game. He's like, "Hey, we were on some bullshit early in this game, and that's my bad. It was not so good." But then bell to ass. And then after yesterday's game, he's just watching the Jordan Walsh like in interview in the middle of the game, and he's just a proud dad. He's like making fun of him about how Jordan Walsh is so serious. He's like, "Oh, look at me, and I made the right play, and I'm a great teammate." And it's like the vibes are so immaculate. But Jaylen, can you chill? You're jacked. You're incredible at basketball, and now you're stealing the content from us as well. Like with your incredible charm, can you just leave something for the rest of us, brother? Jesus Moses.
No, he's got like a clothing brand. He's like investing in like minority-owned businesses in Boston.
Goodness.
It's like, all right, dude, let's chill. All right, you
Saving
can't be
the
perfect,
world.
right? Yeah, something's got to be wrong here. Dude, he's been so good. He's shooting over 50% from the mid-range on 6 attempts. That is an absurd number of attempts. And like, yeah, the way he's approached this year, I do think he's like really enjoying kind of having the team to himself, for lack of a better phrase. And he's deserved it. Like he's always been good enough to be kind of a fringe number 1 option. And I don't know if I was skeptical. I feel like I said I think Jaylen's gonna have the best year of his career multiple times, but there was reason to be skeptical of Jaylen's ability to give these performances. Well, that is all gone. Like he's played so well, and I don't see any reason this is going to stop. And like, unless he, I'm not even going to say it. There's no reason for this to stop outside of external forces, that are unrelated to the way he's playing basketball, but would hinder his ability to play basketball. It's just like, and you're right. Now that Derrick and Peyton are really shooting the ball and look a lot more, especially Derrick finally looks like really aggressive and I feel like confident. It's just going to make his life so much easier. And he's developed some nice chemistry with Kata's screening game. Kata's such a good screener. Like the way he'll have Kata like flip the screen and then he hits the crossover and he's just gone. Like nobody can stay in front of him. It's so incredible. I'm like so happy for him, even though he's a bajillionaire and as you said, 6'7", super jacked in the man. It's like, and I'm 5'11" and a nerd in West Virginia, but I'm happy for the guy.
Yeah, man. Life is Jaylen Brown. Pretty good. Yeah, and I am happy for him. Not that he cares about how happy we are for him, but nonetheless, we are. Shout out Jaylen Brown. But yeah, Derrick White. I'm very proud of us for not doing the is Derrick White actually good? Are we worried about Derrick White? Big picture. Should we have traded Derrick White? Is he a Jason Tatum merchant? we talked about how maybe his role was different and some of the shots were harder, but we were like, he's just straight up missing Derrick White shots. And again, last 11 games, 39.8% from three. Like
Imagine that.
He was always going to make shots again. And he has hit some big ones last night. Oh, I mentioned someone in the chat just now. Was it Howard? That was like, what about the Jaylen Brown back-to-back threes last night? That was fucking awesome. But yeah, the chemistry with Cater, he's just, and some of the passes, like the tight window, thread the needles just like right to where Cater's right behind the roll man, and all he has to do is kind of just meet the ball right there and throw it down. Like, I think that's a huge reason why Cater is now up to 70% from the field on the season, is that Derrick White's just making his job a lot easier. But yeah, Derrick White, 25-5 last 11 games, 19, 5-5 on 60% true shooting, 1.2 steals, 1.2 blocks per game. The dude's just a fucking stocks machine, man. It's crazy. And then Pritchard has almost identical counting stats, 25-5 as well on 62% true shooting. The dude is back. I don't know if you think there's anything to Jordan Walsh, like coming in and taking some of the defensive and rebounding load and like just the dirty work load away from those guys. But maybe there's something to that because they're both, again, after Walsh, life's good, baby.
Yeah, I mean, it's way easier to play offense if you aren't the guy that has to guard Austin Reeves, who is like the only option for this version of the Lakers, and running you through a half a dozen pick and rolls every possession. I think that's a huge part of it. That's a great point. On Kada, you were the first person I remember pointing this out with him at the beginning of the year, and it's how much quicker he's getting out of his screens in the pick and roll, and like the way he's getting, like he's just contact and he's gone. And yeah, he's like, the drop big is like, oh shit, this guy's already passing me. I need to either get up and not let Derrick White walk into a wide open pull up three, which he was missing all the time this year, which is not a shot he's going to miss all the time. Or I need to get back to Kada, and Derrick's reading that every single time perfectly lately. And he's kind of like, Derrick has the funniest handle because it's like really secure and he never turns it over. He just has two moves. Like basically that's it. He just basically overhand cross and hezzies, and like he's just going at people where he's like isolating, and it's like overhand cross, hesitation, overhand cross, and like getting by guys. That's all you need, man. You only need two moves, which just makes me laugh. But that's when you know Derrick's confident, when he's like, I'm gonna isolate against like a big man and get downhill. And I feel like now that the shot's going in, he's starting to do that a lot more too.
Yeah, I remember when Celtics would open the games with pick and roll till up. Yeah, early in the game yesterday, it was like they were kind of having a little bit of trouble scoring, and it was like the Cater Derrick White pick and roll game. Let's just get six. Let's get 6 easy points out of that. And man, Cater's just 12-8 on 70%. He's like at the top of the field goal percentage list in the NBA now. Like, there's not really anything negative to say about the team right now. No. Even our guy, Anthony Simons, who down to 21.5 minutes per game, 7th on the team behind Walsh and Hauser, like in that like perimeter rotation player group. But over those 11 games, 12, 2 and 3 on only 1.1 turnover. So he's like gone from 2 to 1 assist to turnover to 3 to 1 assist to turnover. Still just a flamethrower from 3. And that I think is just who he is, and smart by Joe. Like, I know people have wanted him to maybe have the ball more, and I am still a little bit surprised when I hear people say like they want the ball in his hands more, but like using him as a catch and shoot guy and then kind of playing out of that. And I think the defense has improved a little bit. I think as a whole player, he's improved a lot in the kind of like last stretch as well, just kind of like with decision making, fighting. I saw him grab a rebound yesterday where he like jumped up and like
a good one,
snatched it. I was like, oh, okay, Anthony. Yeah. So there were, and the way I know I think he's improved is like yesterday when they were kind of struggling. I was like, we could kind of use some Anthony Simons right now. Like in the second half when the lead was slipping away a little bit, I'm like, that's the first time I've thought that all year long. And so Shout out Anthony Simons because we've been incredibly hard on him as well.
We have been, and like part of it's been deserved. I will say, like, the Simons, like the team's defensive rating with Simons out there with Luka Garza has always been okay. It's like 116.2, which is not great, but it's just fine. And then when you add Garza, it jumps to 121, which is terrible. So like, and they were kind of chained together for a long period of time, and like you can get away with a bad like guard defender. You cannot get away with a bad big and a bad guard defender. Like defense is just completely untenable. And so like I think the fact that now it's Minot and it's just like let's just switch it and scram you out, Anthony Simons on the backside, instead of like Garza's in drop and this is now a 5-alarm fire because a team ran a pick and roll every single possession. So I think that's really helped his defensive abilities and the fact that he can just be a little more aggressive, and it's a lot less complicated when you're not constantly in rotation. And like the shooting, like he is evidence of like shooting maybe the most important thing in basketball, because you can just drive offensive value when you're shooting the ball the way he is. And it just feels like he's just settling in to like what's expected of him on this team. And like, I feel like 22 to 24 minutes is the perfect amount for him, because he does have his issues. He does have his negatives. But for the most part, like he's doing a really good job at what he's being asked to do and defending as well as he can. And he's overpaid, but he's a very solid role player on this team.
He's going to be very grateful to Brad Stevens and the Boston Celtics, I think, at the end of this season. Like, I think if he had gone to another team with a worse culture and a worse infrastructure, and he was just kind of like had his Jordan Poole to the Wizards moment. Granted, when did Jordan Poole sign that contract? Was that the Wizards that gave that to him? Of course, it doesn't really matter. But like, let's say he just goes somewhere and plays like the early version of Jordan Poole or whoever.
Yeah,
he's going to end up on like the taxpayer mid-level. I think if he keeps playing within himself and keeps kind of learning how to play like winning basketball and improving, I'm not sure. I don't think there's a $20 million per year deal out there for him, but I was thinking like D'Angelo Russell deal with the Mavs when he first got here. Maybe he can get himself a mid-level exception, like $13-14 million per year deal if he's able to keep on this trajectory. We'll see. But I think that he's in the right place for himself, and the Celtics are doing a good job of like molding him into a player that can actually help them win games.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. I cannot believe it's been 58 minutes, Jake. I was about to start launching into how well Sam Hauser's been playing defensively, especially. I love the way Sam's been playing defensively, but we kind of got to wrap it up. Yeah. So like, again, this is so damn fun. I'm so glad like the winning Celtics are back. It was a long 3 weeks. Hopefully we never have to go back to that. Those terrible 3 weeks of bad basketball. Wasn't even that bad. It was just mediocre basketball. Yeah. So any parting thoughts, anything you want to get out there before we call it a night?
Well, it's just the Heat are down 17 to the Sacramento Kings right now. And so
hell yeah.
Another part of the Celtics being good again is like following the day-to-day of the standings and being like, hey, the NBA Cup worked out great for the Celtics, and that there's like every team from the East that went through the next round is like teams in and around us, the standings. So some of them have to lose games. So it's like now the Heat are 14-9. If they lose to the Kings, the Celtics will be the 4th seed. And we're back, and we play the Raptors tomorrow. So that's interesting. That's a big game now.
Yeah. They're fake team. The Raptors are fake. We're winning that game.
I'm still struggling to wrap my head around them as well.
Yeah, dude, it makes no sense. Okay, over under at the end of December, our seed is 3.5, right? So are we under 3.5? Are we 1 through 3, or are we 4 or higher?
I think the smart bet is 3 under, but how can you say under when we're the best team in the NBA now? 9-2.
Exactly.
After Walsh, 9-2 after Walsh. We're on a 65 win pace or whatever it is.
So you're going or over or under,
Going over.
whatever.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're-
yeah.
we're gonna
Seeds
have-
1 through 3.
I'm gonna be a top 3 seed. Unwrapping our presents and lighting the menorah.
I am feeling that 3 spot feels like it's got our name on it. So I love that. All right, that'll do it for this one. We are out. The Celtics are super fun. I can't wait to watch them destroy the Raptors. That's gonna do it. Peace.